Good morning, y'all. I know it's probably evening where you may be at, but I just like to start off with a good morning because, I don't know, it just rings of new beginnings. Speaking of new beginnings, we're starting one right here. We are entering into a new year, and what a better way to start a new year with, I don't know, making friends. So hello, my name is Kristen, and I'm on a journey from here to there. I don't really know where there is, but I guess that's part of the journey. At this moment, if you are like, I am not here for the journey, I'm here for that other thing that you said in the title, you just go down in the description box down below and you find whatever timestamp that I hopefully put there and you skip ahead to your part of the video. But if you are doing laundry, folding them clothes, if you are preparing for dinner, if you are on your way to work and you ain't got nothing better than do, then come in here and listen and let's become friends on this journey. So let's start off with a backstory. Why on earth did I decide to do this? I don't really know. I'm going to be honest. Back in 2019, 2020, I started going on the internet with TikTok. I was teaching sixth grade math and obviously not doing very well at it, that I had a whole crisis, which is what led to do better, be better, have better, because I said something just has to change. So in the 2019 year, I was like quitting all my little side things that I was doing at my job and really focused on all the things that I could do better. Obviously, we did everything that we possibly could, and that turned into the 2020, which, as you know, the world shut down, but that was my Be Better year. So what way, to be better than to be locked at your house with only yourself? That'll get you to be better. And so during my Be Better year, we're locked down. I wanted to keep teaching because I didn't know anything else to do. So I went on TikTok. I said, what if I taught math for 60 seconds? Real cute, real simple. And I don't know, something inside of me was giving Esther, was like, what if we were made for such a time as this? You ever have a season in your life where you're like, I don't know, what if this is why I was born? What if this was the purpose? So I hopped on. I'm making these cute little videos, sharing it. Apparently, we do not know the fractions and we do not know the long division. And as a math teacher, I can conclude that, yeah, we weren't. So that was doing pretty well for, me sitting at my kitchen table with a lamp, writing on a little dollar whiteboard that I got from Target. Not too bad. But in the background of that, my father suggested, he said, you should make sure that you're documenting, recording things, recording your journey in the background. So I created something on the side in my head called the archives. And so I would record these videos, and I was very shy, so I would never post them, about the lessons that I was learning along the way as I was recording my TikTok videos. And the archives, we kept it real cute, real private, didn't share them. But somewhere along the way, after my Be Better year, I went into my Have Better year. And around 2022, I started taking the things that I learned with the archives and turning it into a podcast. The podcast was called the Pace of Grace Podcast, which could still be on Spotify. I don't know. And so I did the Pace of Grace podcast. And during that time, I just wanted to share all the things that I was learning. So to be honest, I don't made it to Have Better, but I was still rushing, still trying to reach something, and I wasn't doing it very well, in my opinion. I realized that I needed to probably just go at the pace of grace. So in my head, if the Lord has already graced all my steps, then I didn't have to rush to get anywhere. No need to run. I could just go at the pace he set. And not only was I going at the pace he graced me for, I was going to give myself grace for the journey, because even though I already had the right path, doesn't mean I was always going to do it the right way. And I can give myself grace because God gives it to me freely. So why on earth am I withholding something that the Lord gives to me freely? That doesn't make any sense. And that's what we did. Obviously, that kind of fell off, and I don't know, somewhere along the way, we came into this new journey, which is the journey from here to there. It started a couple days ago when I was sitting down listening to another woman on her journey, and she said, if you have something to share on YouTube and it's a journey, then that's the perfect thing, because that's what YouTube is for. So out of that came the journey. And so on this journey, we're going to start with the first part, and that is the journey into motherhood. Um, I don't really know how that process started, but I can start you from the very beginning. I was in graduate school for the second time, getting my principal certification. And I told the Lord, I said, hey, it's been a lot, but one thing I cannot do, God, is I cannot have babies while I'm still in school. I'm just overwhelmed. So I said, if we could just wait till the end when I graduate, that would be great. And so I started in I think I started in 2022, which meant that I would have graduated in 2024. Um, After the first year, for whatever reason, I decided to take out my birth control. I don't really know what prompted me to do it. I just felt like that needed to be done. And so in my head, I'm talking to God like, oh, are you saying I need to stop being on birth control because we're going to have a baby while I'm in school? Because in your head, Lord, you were going to have me have the baby as I was crossing I get it, God. I get the vision. That was not the vision. I don't know why I thought that. Because, man, did that lead to a year of disappointment. I don't know how many times I bought a pregnancy test just to be disappointed that I was not pregnant. I tested so much that even when there were legitimate moments where I probably should have tested, I didn't even want to, because I had just gotten so hurt and downtrodden, and I just didn't want to keep being disappointed. It was taking a toll on my heart. I remember the very last time I think I sat and was with my friends. We were having a girls' night down at Chili's, eating our little appetizers. And I was like, water for me. It could be in. Boo, boo, boo. Had the name for the babies and everything, just to have to text them the very next day, if that I wasn't pregnant. So I ended up graduating, in 2024, but that was a very long year. Sometime after I graduated, I, changed my name to my married name, and I felt something was telling me to go start an appointment, but I just was in denial. So I went to a conference. At the conference, they were having a women's health panel, and something about the health panel and just being there was like, make the appointment. So I go online, I look up all the different doctors that are under my husband's insurance. I'm searching, and there's just one doctor that kind of just sticks out to me. I don't know what, but I'm like, it's fine, I'll give him a call. I need to see an OBGYN anyways. I called them. I said, thank you. I'm here to make an appointment with an OBGYN. I said, that is so crazy. We're a fertility clinic. Fertility? I don't want to do fertility. I'm over it, God. But it's okay. I'm already on the phone. No takesy backsies. I need to make this appointment anyways. This is September. By the time I'm done with that phone call, this woman has already set up appointments. I haven't even finished my paperwork and she set up appointments. We get the appointments done. The appointments are just to get to know me and my husband, because when you are on a fertility treatment, it takes two to tango. And so you have to have your spouse or your partner included in the journey as well. So I'm on the journey with this literally, because it's January, literally a couple months ago. They check everything out. I don't have any blockages. I don't have any anything that would create any difficulties with becoming pregnant. My tubes are clear, my ovaries are fine, everything's fine. Nothing that can't be fixed with between me and my husband. Nothing that can't be fixed with like vitamins and like medicine. Very simple. And she said, because of this, because there's nothing that really is blocking, you're a perfect candidate for IUI. So IUI, just a quick look up, is I hope I pronounce this right, intrauterine insemination. And so basically they're creating an environment that's going to make it the most optimal place, time, setting to become pregnant. So they make sure that your spouse is good. They get whatever the sample is, make sure they wash it, make sure it's the highest sample possible. They make sure they give you some medication that makes sure that your eggs are good and give you your super ovulation, all of that. So personally, I'm at the part where they have checked again to confirm that all is well. They've checked and everything's fine. And then they assigned me Clomid. So I took my Clomid for a few days, 5 to be exact. And it's get your hormones going, girl. And after taking my Clomid for 5 days, they went, checked my eggs just to see if everything's great. That was just last week. I am now going back tomorrow to see how my eggs are doing. I'm hoping that they tell me that they have matured enough in order for me to move forward in the process. Because the next part I am assuming is that I would have to take something called like Overdrill. And it's a medication that you have to, it's like a little shot that you take in your stomach. And it's going to create a window of ovulation. And the hope is that before the end of the week, the process will be done and I will have a little baby in there. And there are some concerns. One, I'm so concerned. There's such a fear of like, just because I can get pregnant doesn't mean I can stay pregnant. So that's a big concern of mine, my gosh. There's also the concern that there's a higher chance of having twins or triplets. And I already feel like when we started the process, somebody had told my husband, she was like, y'all gonna have twins. And I said, I don't really know how that's gonna happen, but because we're doing this IUI process, I was like, Lord, that actually might happen. And so we're hoping that if we do end up having twins, it'll be a girl and a boy. I got a couple names, I'll share with you later. But I'm a bit nervous because tomorrow somebody's going to tell me if I'm ready or not. And obviously throughout this process, we're doing what we can to make sure that, we're being a loving, happy family. We ain't got to leave it all up to the doctors, but I'm very nervous because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to move forward. So that is where I'm at with the IUI treatment. It's been a long journey, but I'm hoping that it comes. So by tomorrow, hopefully, the next time we get on this video, I'll give you an update on how we're doing. So there's that. At this point in the video, we are also going to transition into a completely different career. So I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be honest. The year I went to go learn to be a principal, I think it was by the end of my first year that I was like, there's no way I'm going to be a principal anytime soon. I might be one eventually, but not today. And I took this class with this amazing person. Shout out to my professor, not going to say his name, but he's the one. And he just really went into depth into like what it meant to be a principal. And while I was listening to him, I said, wow, that is so important to be able to take people who have answered the call into teaching and make sure that they are prepared and adequately supported so that they can be the best versions of themselves. I was like, that is something great. And I don't think I can do that for people right now. I feel like this is going to be something I do like 5-10 years from now, but spend the next 5 to 10 years honing those skills in order to be the best principal. So I said, in the meantime, though, I'm going to go back into the classroom and figure out how I can be the best teacher I can be. So I'm in the classroom, learning, doing. I'm about to graduate. This is in March. I just finished my big final project, turned it in, and I ended up taking a half day thinking that my big project was going to be in the afternoon. Child, it was in the morning. I had to do while I was at work. So then I left, went home, still had this whole afternoon, and I felt like the Lord was trying to tell me something. So I sit down and I'm like, God, what is it? Like, tell me. So I'm listening, I'm doing the worship music, reading my Bible. And you know that one time where you open the Bible and you just let me see. You just open it and you're like, if the Lord wants me to find it, I'll just open it and it'll be there. I open up the Bible and I go to Daniel. I said, Daniel, from the lion's den. So I'm reading all about Daniel. One day I'll go into more in depth about this. But I'm reading all about Daniel and about what he did. And I was like, oh, I did dance fast. And out of the reading, I felt like he was telling me the word consultant. And so I said, consultant? That's what I need to get out of Daniel? I don't understand. But after the year I had, I'm not finna argue with God. God, if you want me to go into consulting, I'll go into consulting. Now, did I know what consulting was? Absolutely not. Never heard of it before. I've heard other people do it, but not me, Lord. So obviously the first thing I do is I look up what a consultant is. And I said, wow, that sounds good. So it told me it was a person who provides expert advice professionally. I said, I could definitely be professional. They collect data, they develop strategies, they propose solutions, they offer guidance. It's about purpose, people, prep, process, product. I said, I think that I can do that. And then, with the definition, it always gives you like a little example, put it in a sentence. And so it says, I don't know why I wrote this. She is currently a self-employed business consultant. Now, mind you, earlier that year, I had decided to go to this entrepreneur conference in my local area. And I already told the Lord, I said, Lord, I ain't got no business being here. But in the middle of me telling him, this is March, he tells me to be a consultant. June, July, I'm at this conference. In the middle of me telling him that, he made it abundantly, above more than I could ask or think, clear that yes, I was going to go. So I ended up going here, learning all about entrepreneurship, put all this to the side. Few months later, I ended up becoming a part of this beautiful program about Black women or women of color leading in education. And I'm like, why on earth would I be part of this amazing program? I have no idea why I'm even applying. Just for them to talk about how these women are, like, if not self-employed, these are business women running it, doing it. And one of the women who started it, or the woman who started it, is a consultant. And one of the things we had to write down for mentorship is, do we want mentorship in A, B, C, D, or E? And E was career transition. And I said, oh my gosh, Lord, I know you told me in March about consulting. I know you made me go to these entrepreneur workshop conferences. And now I'm in this program I don't know anything about. And do you want me to quit? Am I quitting my job? Do I quit now? Do I quit later? What am I quitting for? So I say that all to say, part of my other journey from here to there is not just in motherhood, but it's in career. I really don't know why the Lord would put me on this career path when I really like the safe and the stable. But I also know when it comes to God, if he says move, you go. And I'm not one to not be where the Lord's at. I may not be doing it right, God, but I don't want to miss it. If you're moving, I'm moving. I'm a move in sin. I'm a move in iniquity, but I'm a move. Where are you going, God? Let's go together. He's like, don't come. I'm pulling a roof. I think that was her name. I'm pulling a roof. Where you go, I'll go. Your people, my people. Your God, my God. Your house, my house. Tu casa is mi casa. That's where I'm at. So I made the move. And that led me to this new journey because I'm over here still at my job. But I'm like, okay, God, maybe I just feel like I need to start transitioning. So I applied to go do something called Time to Teach. Encouragement, empowerment, and excellence in every classroom. It's giving exactly what it needs to give. I just love the sound, the feel of it. But I'm also very nervous because I'm like, I've never heard of this program a day in my life. I don't want it to be like an MLM, where I have to, I just don't want to be scammed, God. I want to make sure I'm doing something I'm supposed to do. And the woman whose video I watched that started this whole YouTube video, she was transitioning into a new journey as well. And I was a bit scared with this because I don't get to just join Time to Teach. I have to invest. So it was going to cost me some money to start. And I had just ended my year with a bonus, and it was a good 2 bonuses. And that bonus gave me a good $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 extra dollars. And I wasn't expecting it. So I'm just kind of sitting here like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing with this money guy. I got some ideas, but there's nothing clear that comes to my head. And this program comes up on the LinkedIn, and I applied to it because it was like, do you want to make a positive impact? You know, I love to make a positive impact. Of course I want to. So of course I applied. And when they got back to me, they were like, watch this webinar. It was a couple hours, I believe. I can't even remember. And during the webinar, they were like, you would have to go to training. So not only would you have to pay like $700 just to do the training, you would actually have to pay to like get to the training and buy a hotel, like all of that. And I called my mama because I was just talking to her not too long ago about jobs that offer a lot of money. Like I'm talking like 6-7 figures. And I said, all these jobs are on LinkedIn offering all kinds of money. Lord, I need one of these jobs. Show me. So when this job pops up, I'm like, God, that's not the job I was talking about. I was talking about the job that was giving me money. I'm not talking about a job where I have to pay money. And I called her and I said, the only way I would even be able to do this job is if it's in my state. It has to be local. Why did I look, me and my little research, why I look at where the training was before I even did the interview, before I did anything, and the training was right here in my state? I said, doggone it. That is the only thing I said, Lord, why would you do that? So I did the cost of how much it would cost to do the training. Training's like $700. To do the hotel was another like $700. I could probably get it down to maybe $500-$600, but it was another $700. Not to mention the flights and the Uber it would take. That would take all $1,700 of my dollars, but it would cover everything. So I was like, okay, God, like, I don't want to get upset, but this covers everything. And I'm still debating on even what hotel I get. But there's a hotel, not that hotel, but not that hotel, but that hotel. That hotel even gives me free breakfast and dinner. So I would just have to figure out lunch. And you know me, I'll take that dinner, wrap that dinner up, but bring some foil, wrap up that dinner. That dinner will be lunch for tomorrow. You got to think big, So I'm like, my goodness, that takes care of everything. Down to the last dime. So I spent the next few days paying all this money, just stepping out on faith, praying and hoping that this is not a scam. Praying and hoping that this is like, okay, that I'm doing the right thing. And so when her video pops up, I don't even know why her video popped up, but her video popped up and I clicked it, and she was giving her testimony on how she went and invested in this program that she didn't hear of. She never heard of it before. She heard it on another podcast. She heard AO. There were some other women talking about it. She said, this sounds perfect to me. I'll go ahead and do it. And this was in the midst of her trying to go out of her way to go make her own money, go make her own bag, because she had lost her job while she had just got a new home. They were falling into debt. And I said, that sounds like my testimony. I didn't lose my job, but I stepped down from it. And man, it was a pay cut. And to step down, to still be in this house where this mortgage used to be somewhere around $1,400, and man, we've been on a battle. It went up to $2,400. Now we're down to $2,000. My goodness, Lord, I am drowning, and the debt is deading. My father died. We were going back and forth, funerals and hotels, and I'm not about to say it ain't a hotel, and that was on me, Lord, but that debt was deadening. And don't let depression and me not giving a care in the world get into it, because now I'm like $30,000 in debt. God, I don't really know how to get out of it. And the plan I had isn't planning. So I'm stuck and I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. And I'm trying to figure this out. And you want me to have a baby, and you want me to go into a new job. This is the worst time. This is the worst time. Babies cost money and new jobs mean less money. What are you doing? Why? So I try to gather all the faith that I can. Try to remember people like, Tabitha Brown, who, right before you do new things, God is telling you to do stuff you don't really know what he's doing, but you go out on faith. I'm watching this video of this woman going through difficult times, heard that podcast, went to this one job offer, but this job offer, man, it was going to come at a cost. It cost her like $500. Cost me $700. But like she said, this was an investment. So I said, okay, God, so we invest. and let's see what comes from it. And out of that, she made her own YouTube video giving her testimony, and it was a blessing from there. So I said, okay, this woman has encouraged me. She has sparked something new in me. To God be the glory. I'm gonna do the same. So then as you can see, I paid for the training, and I dropped everything. I picked up the book. I started reading it. I said, obviously, this is what you want me to do. So obviously, do it is what I'm going to do. So that's in a couple weeks. Hopefully, I can update you on that and let you know that the Lord was faithful. Taste and see that the Lord is good. That's what I'm about to go see. I'm about to go see how good he is. Because I already know you've been good. And I already know you took me from there to here. So if you took me from there to here and you showed yourself faithful, then obviously from going from here to there, you shall do the same. The same God you were back then is the same God you're going to be right now. So be it. Not to mention, this is my last year being in my 20s. So now we go to the last part. Now I'm in my womanhood. Father God, I'm in grown. When I was a child, I did childish things. Okay, I got to put them childish things away. I'm grown now. What does grown look like? Who am I now? What does that look like spiritually when I take everything off and I give you it all? I feel like part of my journey is sharing with you this. So it's definitely in motherhood. It's definitely in career, but it's also in something I don't quite know what it is, but I know I'm here and I know I'm going to go there. And I guess this is part of it. But I will say, once I let all that go, the very next day things started changing. I mean, you want to talk about to go from 1,400 to 2,400. Don't get me wrong, the Lord kept me. But when I left that job that I thought was going to keep me in the future, oh, I didn't know what to do, because I said, God, I'll do what you say do, but I definitely gained more peace. It definitely made way for me to start the journey of motherhood, but how are we going to get this money? I will say the very next day, I started calling the people about my mortgage, because I said, if I could just get my mortgage lower, God, that would be perfect. So I lower my, I go on this little journey, and I start researching to the bank, what's going on with my taxes, what's going on with this, that, and the other, because I'm going to be honest, the journey to a home was one in itself. And for whatever reason, the very next day, after 5 different phone calls, the people on the phone was like, the reason why your mortgage is so high is because you don't have the Homestead Act or Homestead tax exemption, whatever that was. I said, do I qualify for that? They say, you sure do. We don't even know why you don't have it. Because I said, this has been going on for 2 years. My mortgage has been this high. They say, yeah, all you need to do is go apply for it. And it'll go back 2 years. So 2 years. So I go, and I'm emotional. I have a whole moment. I just start weeping after I get off that phone call. But then I did exactly what I needed to do. I went and I got on the phone, and I don't want to rush past this. Part of me wants to rush past it because I said it's only 30 minutes. I don't want to go past that. But if you are on here and if you live in the state of Texas and you don't know if you have Homestead, definitely go ahead and look it up, because, man, it was a blessing. I went to that woman's office, and I knocked on that door, and grabbed my ticket, went up to that counter, did that paperwork, and she said, not only will we give you your taxes back in 2022, we'll give it back to you in 2023, and the fact that you just paid it in 2024, we'll give you your money back there. I went online. I said I paid like $5,500 in taxes, which, it was a lot. And I went online. I said, what would happen if I had this? And they were like, your taxes would have been only like $3,500. You're telling me I could get like $2,000 back per year with the debt I'm in, and I'm trying to have a baby? My God in heaven. But I just felt like that was a testimony of how the moment I said, okay, God, I trust you, the podcast idea came. Not too long ago, okay, God, I'm just going to do whatever it is as you say do. I'm on the phone with these people in October. It's January, and I'm almost done with the process. quickly. You know what, God, I don't really know what this time to teach is going to come of, what's going to come of it. But if I'm going to be on this journey from here to there, I'm going to be on it. And for the next day, for me to wake up, and that was the first thing that was on my mind, to figure out what was going on my mortgage. And I'm going to be honest, y'all, all of this started because, like I said with those podcasts, I was just going through a season. And the season that I was going through was, God, I don't really know what you're doing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is a season of preparation or of where I'm prepping the goal, or this is a season where I'm actually getting the goal done. I don't know if this is a season where I'm preparing or if this is a season where I'm moving forward with things. And so, for whatever reason, I decided I'll tell you this story another time. I went on ChatGPT and it was like, sounds like you need some discernment. Sounds like you need a little help. So this next fast that I'm about to go on, way to pivot. The fast that I'm about to go on, I don't even know what I'm going to do. It's not going to be the Daniel's fast, even though I was in Daniel not too long ago. It's going to be one of discernment, because going into this IUI process, I'm going to need discernment. Make sure I go to the right doctors, the right hospitals, do the right things. In this new career, I'm going to need discernment. I'm going to need to know who to talk to, who to keep my mouth closed to, what to say, how to move, where to be, when to be there. On this journey, even on this YouTube, I don't really know what we're doing, y'all. But even on this journey from here to there, I'm going to need all the discernment. I'm going to need him to order all my steps. And when I try to go to ChatGPT and ask them what I should do, ChatGPT had the audacity to be in my business and be like, you need that. So it even gave me a scripture, and this scripture has been on my mind for God knows how long. It's Proverbs 3, I think 5-6, which is, lean not onto your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. And I wanted to leave y'all with a cute little quote about being on a journey. It's like, go on to the internet. I said, Lord, you got any scriptures about journey? And why on earth did they give me that scripture? I said, oh, I get it. Proverbs. So I don't know. I think part of my journey from here to there, I really want to do like this 90-day fast. Lord, help me. And I've been fasting for a while in the last couple months, on and off. And the last fast I did, I wanted to gain clarity. And I did a little fast in between, and I didn't quite finish it, but it did get finished, because it let me know that in the first fast, when I did it and I let things go and I gained clarity, I was like, okay, God, I see that there's some things that are holding me back. And the second fast, I felt like as soon as that first fast had ended and I went back to all the things, I said, oh my gosh, it's almost as if it came back tenfold. I said, oh, I got to do another fast because I don't think this stuff is working. I think it was another round of clarity, because by the time I was done with the end of last year, doing all the things I was doing, I said, God, I'm not going into the next year doing all this again. I really felt like he met me. So now, at the end, here we are. We're about to enter into our next fast. Sometimes I feel like the fast that we do, I was expecting like manna raining from heaven. The mountains were going to shake and the waters were going to part. But something as simple as removing the dirt out of my sight, removing the shades off my eyes. I'm about to go into this new season where I feel like he's going to give me not just clarity in my eyes, but clarity in my spirit. And I think there's nothing as clear as discernment. So we're going to go on this 90-day fast. I'll update you on that, on the spiritual journey that we're on. I'll update you on the IUI. Hallelujah. Hopefully I can update you on the home. And I'll update you on the career. And we'll go on this journey from here to there together. I am going to let you know, just like on my other things, that I'm going to be learning some lessons on the way. So if you see it's the journey, then we're just continually talking about what we've already been on. But if you see side quests, baby, I don't learn me a thing or two. I don't went down to the gold mine and picked me up some pebbles, and I just wanted to share it. So either I'll see you next time on the journey, or I'll see you on the side quest. But either way, I hope you have a good morning, and I hope you have a good day. Bye. I'll talk to y'all soon.